Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. And I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Happy Wednesday. Happy last Wednesday of the month at that. I hope you guys are safe and sound. I hope you guys are in a good mood, good energy, and things of that nature. So without further ado, if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And for the ones that are not new to this, but true to this, hey y'all, what's up? What's popping? So without further ado, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show wherever you are. Just enjoy hearing my voice, okay? So today is the last Wednesday of the month, and as you guys know, last Wednesday in February, the last Wednesday of the month, I dedicated as wellness. So the new thing I will do is tips on impacting our wellness, just to reflect on how we have been so far, how the month has treated us, even if, the month was very not so good to us, or if it was really good to us. So today's wellness tip of the day is let it flow. And the reason why today's wellness tip is let it flow is because I'm not ready to lie to y'all. Music is one of the many things that help me, especially songs with titles and the lyrics impact with the titles. So such as Toni Braxton, she has a song called Let It Flow. And I listen to that song and be listening to it, and it helped me let things go, especially when it comes to things that I couldn't control anymore. So that's why I wanted to have this wellness tip as let it flow. So this is the first wellness tip because last Wednesday it was just an overview of how I can help y'all within y'all wellness and how I do my things within wellness. But every last Wednesday of the month, it will be dedicated to a wellness tip that I will be helping you guys with. So the first wellness tip is let it flow. So what is let it flow? Or letting it flow. As a wellness concern, let it flow is impacted by surrounding to the nature of rhythm of life, letting go of control situations beyond one's control, and accepting life as it is, allowing experiences, emotions, and thoughts to come without judgmental or interfering, involving letting go of worries and the urge of everything in their life. When you let it flow, you reduce your stress, you foster resentfulness, and foster an inner peace despite all the things that are going on in your life. So when I think of this, I think of letting everything and everybody go that probably piss me off or do not stand a chance in my life no more. And the reason why I say that is because today has been one of them days where I just thought about it. I was like, okay, the month of March has been good to me financial wise, and when it comes to me not stressing out. However, when spring break had came around for me, I'm not ready to lie to y'all. Certain things I just could not stop thinking about, and it made me so upset because certain things I just don't allow. And especially when you come into a work environment or you're coming into a new environment that's impacted on helping you within your career or life, whatever the case may be, you have to take time to adjust it. And when it comes to people as well, certain things you don't tolerate. So when certain issues happen, I just have in the back of my mind, okay, I'm going to let that flow. I'm going to let it slide, let it roll off, because if I don't let it go, it's still going to be on my mind, and that flow of me getting pissed off and things like that is not going to resolve. It is not going to go pretty well, because when you go into an environment, say if something happened at your house, whatever happens at home, a situation, let it stay home. So when it's time for you to go to work, go to school, let it flow. Just let it roll off. Don't let nobody piss you off any more than you already is. At times it's hard to put that mask on, but I'm going to tell you right now, for the sake of your wellness, whatever it is, I don't care how small it is, let it go. Let it flow. Let it do what it's going to do, because at the end of the day, it's bigger stuff going on, and we have bigger fish to fry. Cause it's not worth it. It is so not worth it. And I'm telling y'all, every day I'm learning to let things flow and let it go for what it is, because I'm real big on my mental, and I be damned to let anybody mess up my wellness because of something that it pissed me off, let alone triggered me. But it's like, what's the point of me going back and forth with somebody if it's so small? I'ma let it flow, I'ma let it ride, because what's the point? What's the issue? Like, people like, get your issue. Man, half the time you don't need to get your issue because it's pointless. So I hope that you guys so far are getting to the understanding of what it is to let things flow or letting it flow, because impacting your well-being, it allows you to help with like any experience, the emotions and thoughts that come to your mind without a judgment, anything, whatever situation you've gone through. I don't care how small it is, let it go. When it's big, that's a whole different story, because it's going to take time for you to let it go. And I will be talking about that deeper into the episode. So next, I'm going to talk about why is it important to let things go. So to maintain wellness, us as individuals must allow things to flow. This will enable us to navigate life with a greater flexibility and remorse. Because being stressed and having anxiety levels can reduce by letting go of things that are pointless to control and accepting the natural flow of experience and emotions in any circumstances. By shifting our minds and developing inner peace to ourselves, it allows us to regulate with our emotions and improve on our mental health. By embracing the flow of also promoting and adapting and empowering ourselves to cope with more things, with challenges and setbacks, to lead a greater overall life satisfaction and fulfillment. So what that means is, why is it important to let things flow? Because like I mentioned, you have bigger shit to worry about. Y'all, I told myself I was going to try to not cuss, but this, you might want to hear some D and S. Because like I mentioned, when it comes to situations that don't put money in your pocket, not impacting you with getting your degree or diploma, certification, whatever the case may be, or not impacting you with your business or getting things, ripped off the ground, let it flow. Let it flow. Like, damn, I don't have time for this. Especially when it comes to your mental health. If you're new here, I'm going to let you know. This podcast is based on self-improvement, self-empowerment. And with that being said, those two impact with your mental health. Self-improvement, it impacts because you have to believe in yourself. You have to change that narrative within yourself, okay, mentally I have to prepare, as well as physically, as well as self-empowerment within your mental. You got to make sure you're in that state of mind where, okay, I feel this way, and my physical appearance will do the same. So when it comes to why it's important to let things flow, you have to remember your mental health is on the line. You have things in life that you want to pursue that you don't have time for little petty stuff to get you so riled up about. Because that's how things make your stress and anxiety level go up. By you just not giving a damn about them little situations, your stress level will go down, and your anxiety, depression, everything like that will go down. Trust me here. As a person that's studying social work and also studied counseling and everything semi surrounding the brain and seeing how people interact and things like that, I'm telling y'all, every day I'm trying, and I'm not going to say trying, I am. Because, don't say trying. I try to take like and trying out my vocabulary, because I'm not trying. I'm doing it. I'm doing this. And I want to be true to this. So when it comes to things that's going on in my life, maybe if it impacted my job, school, if it impacts my job or school or personal life, I tend to not let little stuff tick me off, because it don't mean anything. Like I mentioned, we have bigger things to worry about. It's bigger fish to fry. What do I sit like? What do I look like sitting there going back and forth with a person or giving a person the type of energy that they want? Now I want y'all to think for a minute. We all have them situations where things can go so small to the point where they'll escalate to be big. But we never think on right in there at that time, how can I make sure I don't let this shit get so big because it's already so small right now to the point where I get pissed off and it's like, well, damn, we about to get into it. So, with that being said, with this being, wellness 101, day one, I want you guys to keep in mind, you gotta let shit flow. You gotta let shit go. You gotta let people do what they gonna do, because at the end of the day, some people like to poke. Poke the bear. You're the bear, and they're poking you with the needle, whatever the hell they poking you with, because they want some type of entertainment, they want some type of attention, or they jealous of you, or people try to make a mockery out of you. You gotta pay attention. You gotta learn the signs, especially if you're gonna work in the work environment, school environment, business environment, home environment, wherever it is. You gotta pay attention to them people. Like me, as I'm getting older, I'm comfortable now with reading a room real good, and I'm comfortable now with letting it know how I feel. Sometimes we have to speak in code because you don't want to make it too hot. But then I'm like, shit, if this is how I feel, I'm gonna be straight up about it. Because this is something that I feel, and I need to let it off my chest now. I need to let it flow, let it go now. Because if I don't, it's still going to be on my mind, and it's going to piss me off, and it's going to make my stress and anxiety level go up. So, I want y'all to do this. If someone or something tries to piss you off, I want you to think, how can I prevent this problem so it won't be on my mind? Bingo! I'm going to let it handle. However I feel, I'm going to let it out there. Or if I got to walk away, whatever I got to do so it don't happen, so it don't impact with me, I'm going to do it. Because you don't want that burden on you. And especially, like I say, when it comes to your mental health. So mental health is very important because it impacts with the brain. You don't want to fuck the brain up even more than it is. Your mind is always racing 24/7. Even when you sleep, your mind's racing. How you think dreams come true? How you think dreams are created? I bet y'all already know that. So when it comes to this let it flow and letting it flow, and why is it important to let things flow? I'm letting y'all know now. With it impacting your wellness, your well-being, do everything in your power to make sure that you don't have to, once they say, once you enter them four walls in your work environment, school environment, whatever happened, at home or business or wherever you came from previous, leave it there at the door, because now you're in a new setting. And the vibes can change. And that's another thing too. I'm big on vibes. I'm big on reading the room. And I'm big on speaking how I feel. Those three things matter the most to me, because as I'm getting older, I understand. When I was younger, I didn't do that. I didn't read the room. I didn't let my feelings, at the door as much. And I didn't really speak up for myself. But now I'm older, I understand why my mother was on my ass the way she was. And I would always say, by me being the oldest and by me being a Cancer, because as my siblings got older, they be like, oh, you're a zodiac sign, you're a Cancer, they so sensitive. Now, certain stuff like that, it would tick me off, because whatever, I didn't care how big the situation was or how little it was, it still affected me because I didn't know how to let it flow. And now that I'm older and growing and getting wiser and things like that, I know how to let shit go. I know how to let it flow. You ain't gonna piss me off, because I'm gonna tell you like this. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. You gotta laugh shit off. And people be like, oh my gosh, I feel like when you laugh at times, that's being smart. You don't laugh in their face, of course not. But you just, Give them the yep, period. When you leave, out that four walls, wherever you at, laugh. Cause it's a joke. Cause I honestly feel like it's a joke. Cause certain stuff is like, I'm not ready to sit here and fight you. I'm not ready to sit here and argue with you over something that doesn't impact my life. It is not gonna make me feel like I'm me. So with that being said, when it comes to my wellness and your wellness, I'll let you have it. Yup, chuck the loose up and I'm gone. Cause you gotta learn how to let it flow, baby. If I ain't gonna teach you one thing, I'm gonna tell you something that you need to know. And letting it flow, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time on how to learn how to let things go. Excuse me. It took me a minute. I ain't ready to lie to y'all. It took me a minute to let certain shit and let certain people go and let it flow, because it's like, it's not that deep. It's bigger things going on in the world that I need to make sure that I'm not getting myself wrapped up into anything that's not going to benefit me in the end. Okay? So, let's get into the nitty gritty of this one. How can a person let things flow? Whew. I love these techniques that I've seen. One is meditation. Now, I tried the, breathe in, breathe out for a good 5 minutes. Knowing me, I needed down there probably goddamn an hour or two. And the reason why I said probably an hour or two, because I need complete silence. I need to hear me and only me. My inner thoughts need to be let out. I need to hear me say, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. But I'm going to let y'all know, when I went to counseling last semester, like when I entered the social work program, I did take counseling. After the incident that happened at my school, I took the offer of going to counseling and letting things out and having, I guess, that meditation moment, because it would get silent to the point where I'd be like, okay, me and my counselor look at each other. She know, okay, get it together. And also, my counselor, she gave me a button that has her voice in it, and when you tap it, her button say, don't sweat the small stuff. And that also impacts with letting it flow, because don't let the small stuff or the little itty bitty things affect you, like I mentioned, within your life, because you have bigger fish to fry and you got bigger and better things to worry about, and baby, your mental health matters the most. So what I tell people too, also, don't be afraid to get a counselor, therapist, psychiatrist, whatever, because they're humans as well. They've been there, done that. That's why they specialize in this, because they know how it feels. That's their duty to do this. As I mentioned within the social work episode, people that are working with people within the mental health level, this is what they signed up to do. This is what they felt as though this was their gift to the world that needs to be displayed, and they're going to make sure they help as many people as they can. And I love that about my people. Y'all know I'm talking about my black people. Because it's not easy, especially when it comes to us, when it comes to letting things flow, especially where you're from and how you brought up. As y'all know, if you don't know, I'm from Baltimore. And at times, certain people do know how to let things go, and some, it's hard to let it flow. And you want to that's why I'm telling y'all too, you have to let things flow so it don't build up so bad to the point where it creates chaos and it makes you do things that you will regret. Cause I know y'all sitting here listening to me, probably we all been in situations where we told ourselves we gonna let it go, but if I hear it again, I'm gonna pop off, or I'm gonna snap. Or if I see something or I see that person, I'm gonna snap. Trust me, I've been there. I almost had that moment at work. I almost had one of those moments at work, because when it comes to our mental and the mind, like I said, the mind be racing 24/7 when we sleep, when we up, whatever. And our mind has photographic memories, or that voice in our head, it repeats things that we heard and stuff like that. The mind be racing, and the mind is one of the amazing body parts, I will say, on the body, because it's saying how certain things you can remember, certain things you cannot remember. So if you remember seeing a person and they trigger you, and if then the issue, baby, I know it's gonna take time for you to let it flow and let it go. But I'm telling you, for your own sanity and safety, let that shit go. If it ain't making you no money, it's not helping you get your diploma, your degree, certification, helping you as a man or woman, whatever the case may be. If it's not helping you, period, with your mental health and things like that, let that shit flow and let that shit go. Because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. You gotta think. Like I said, that mental is very important. And then you don't want to stress yourself out and have anxiety over something or someone that don't give two shits about you. Trust me. It don't even have to be a relationship or nothing like that. People can really piss you off. Things can really tick you off to the point where it gets you out of your character. And that's why I say we have to learn a technique for our wellness. Concerning our wellness is let it flow, let it go. Letting things flow, letting it go, whatever term y'all want to do, long as let it is involved. Because letting it go, I'm going to let it do what it do, because at the end of the day, it's not worth it. It's not worth time, energy, body. It's not worth it, baby. Like, let it go. Like, let it go. And another question I seen, this is the last question before I go a little bit deeper, is when can a person let it flow? Now, when it comes to this, beneficial to let things flow when dealing with one's wellness in most situations, but especially during uncertain times of change, or times of like adversity, it is possible for like unnecessary anxiety and stress levels to happen. But by letting go of the desires to control every outcome, when one faces a job loss, relationship problems, or health issues beyond their control, letting things flow is especially important. In these moments, embracing a mindset of accepting and adapting by allowing us individuals to navigate through difficulties with greater resilience and inner peace. So with that being said, we have to practice of letting things go, of letting things flow into our daily routine, can strive us to protect. It can strive us to practice an approach to maintain overall well-being, fostering a more balanced and better relationship with ourselves and the world around us. So with that being said, you know the saying, things don't happen overnight. I already say shit don't happen overnight. You know, black people always got to put their own twist onto it. But things don't happen overnight. It takes time for a person to adapt to letting things go. It takes time for a person to learn things like riding a bike, learning how to read and write, learning how to speak another language, learning how to master some whatever course, whatever it is. It takes time for a person to understand, master, and gravitate on what's going on. So when it comes to us individuals on letting things flow, it benefits us in the long run, because in impacting with our wellness, in most situations, it is most definitely an uncertain time on when can you be able to let go. And I'm not really lying to y'all. It's a walking process. It's a very, I wouldn't even say time consuming process. And there's no limit to it. Because, like I said, it takes people time to get over things, as I mentioned, when it comes to like a job loss. Now, with a job loss, baby, I'm not really lying to you. And one thing about me, if you're new here, I'm not ashamed to relate on, like, whatever I'm talking about. I'm not ashamed to relate it to real life problems that I went through, or share stories that my peers will allow me to share with y'all, because it's life, baby. It's life. And life be life, and shit, like, nobody's perfect. And I hate when people be like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought you would have went through that. It's a lot of things that you don't need to let people know, but sometimes you need to let them know, like, hey, I'm not no scrub or nothing, but baby, I've been through some things and I just know how to handle it. I knew how to maneuver around and knew how to, let who know and who not to not and I knew who to let know and who not to, like, let them know what's going on, privacy. Basically, I knew about my privacy because impacted with my wellness and my mental health. I ain't got time. So when it comes to a job loss, one thing about me, I will keep 2 jobs. I don't care. I have to keep 2 part-time jobs because, like, impacting this scenario we're talking about right now within job loss and letting it flow. Baby, I am not ready to hold you. I started working like a big girl job at the age of 18, straight out of high school, right after my birthday. And when I started my freshman year in community college, I worked. And that was my only job at first. Then I started working on campus. Now, when you work on campus, that's considered work-study jobs. And those jobs don't stay long. They're just semester jobs. Unless you work in the library, stuff like that. But like work studies, things like that, that's what I was doing. That was going good. Up until 2022 when I graduated. And I had, stopped doing the work studies job at my community college. That summer after my birthday, I'm going to say around homecoming is in October for HBCUs. The end of September, all October, and maybe the beginning to the middle of November, depending on where you go. So this is my first ever HBCU homecoming as a student at Morgan. I didn't go to like the concerts, nothing, because I was working. And on that day, I'll never forget, I heard like they cutting hours. Baby, when they start cutting hours, I felt like I lost my job because I was barely there. I was like, I'm barely there. I don't know what it feels. I'm like, dang. So it had me like, okay, I can't let this flow because that's the only money flow I had. So I was like, you know what? This gives me time. So I had that mindset, okay, like, dang, I need some more money, I'm in college, broke. I'm a broke college student now. Now I'm living by the saying, but I'm like, nah, I can't do that. And one thing about a black person, we gonna hustle, and we gonna hustle hard. We gonna find something to, get some money, okay? So I was like, okay, it gave me time. So it was pros and cons that came with it. I'm like, okay. It gave me time to do homework because I'm like, okay, I got all these classes. Give me time to do homework ahead of time because one thing about me, I'm not going to procrastinate. Okay, I can't stand procrastinating. So I'm going to let that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this out the way. Pop, pop, pop. All right. Then, like I said, I need some money. That's when I was applying for jobs in the mall near me, local stores, like the schools. Like I was applying for any and everything. When I got that call from my job I'm working at now, it will make 2 years this year. That phone call changed how I felt about my job, like the job losing situation, because I had let it flow. I'm like, okay, money ain't coming in. Okay, I still need to keep my head on a swivel. I was saving money from every little paycheck I was getting because it's like, okay, I'm not doing so much. I don't have a lot of bills, I don't have a car like that for real. So I'm like, and I'm still helping my mom and dad, with what I can, but till I get back on my feet and make the money I was making, as well as like throwing some extra cash and stuff in there to my siblings and my parents, and making sure that I get myself something on the side too, as well as hanging out. Cause hey, it was like, I'm a student. I go to HBCU. I want to keep up with how I'm looking and stuff like that. So I just will never forget how I had to let that flow because money wasn't coming in like that. But I seen the pros and the cons. And once I got that call from the job I'm at now, I had to let them go. I had to let the job I was working at, let it go. Because simple fact too, when jobs, cut hours and stuff, things change, people change, and I wasn't with that. And then that's when my semester got to the nitty gritty. That's when things was like, okay, I had to buckle my seatbelt up and really I had to put my big girl boots on and start marching, because it got nitty. That's when I started about to take social work courses, everything. I was like, you know what? I can't afford for nobody to be talking to me crazy. If I need time, if I need, to take time off, depending on impacting my studies. Because one thing about me when it comes to working, I'm not taking no days off unless I have to. I'm not calling out unless I have to. Impacting my well-being, my family, or if something's going on. Those are only 3 options you're going to get. So I understand how it feels when it comes to the job loss. And I understand everybody out there that's listening has been through it or is going through it now. If you're going through it now, baby, let me let you know right now. Your time is coming. Right now, I know right now it's fucked up with finances, but let it flow. Because I'm going to tell you something. At times when you lose your job, it's a sign from whoever you believe is telling you, baby, I'm about to open another motherfucking door for you, and this one gonna be better than the last one. And that's what I had in mind too. Even though I was working in a nursing home and then transform to the shoe store, I still went back into the nursing home type setting, because I ended up working in the children's hospital as well as when I was working in the shoe store. So I had to make I had to make sure I had an option, a second option, because like I said, I'm in college and now things getting a little too gritty. You gotta pay rent and stuff like that. Oh yeah, and one thing about me, I love me a good pair of shoes. My hair gotta stay done up. Clothes, I get it here and there. I'm not really too big on it, long as I have some. The bags, yes. And now I'm so obsessed with buying. I feel like I buy perfume every other week now. It's just so I understand how it is, but baby, I'm letting you know right now, your time is coming. That new job, that new career is coming to replace that job loss that you had. Because I'm telling you, once you step foot into their new job, your new improved career, all that stuff that happened at that old job or career, let that shit flow, because that shit don't matter no more. Okay? So when it comes to relationship problems, I'm not really going to say much on that, because I haven't been in a relationship for 4 years. So it's really not much for me to say, because my memory pile is a little foggy. It's certain stuff it just fogs to me. It's really foggy. But I'm gonna let y'all know this. I let that shit flow. That stuff I went through 4 years ago, or from the talking stages 2-3 years ago, I let it flow. Because it's pointless. I'm not gonna hold a grudge for so long. Because, like I said, I got bigger fish to fry and bigger and better things to do. And I wish them nothing but peace and blessings as well. Because I don't want to see nobody down. I don't want to see nobody bad. Because, God forbid, something can happen today or tomorrow. Any given time, any given place, any given second, any given minute. I refuse to hold or have so much hate in my heart for a person or whatever the case may be. So I let that thing flow, especially within a relationship or friendship. I believe in saying people come for a season, and then you have the ones that are in your life for a reason, or they wasn't meant at that time. Real heavy on that one, wasn't meant for you at that time. And I get it, and it's understandable, because when you get older, you learn a person, learn who they really are, and you just got to take it with a grain of salt. And also, when they mention the health issues or beyond. Now, going back to the health episode, if y'all guys didn't hear it, I'm going to need y'all to hear that. Going back to my big issue with health was the breakout, baby. It took me a minute to let go because of the scars. Sometimes when it comes to health issues, if it's impacting scars or within your physical appearance, yeah, it's going to take a minute to let that flow. It took me it happened 2 months ago. I think till this day, I feel like comfortable again to probably show my stomach a little bit. Probably show my legs when it get warm outside. Because I'm not really lying to y'all, when the breakout happened, it took a minute for like the rash to go down. It took a minute for the rashes to go down, the swelling to go down. And it took a real good minute for my face to go down. Cause I was so upset because I'm like, I'm already I'm already a plus size type female. And my face is a little chunky. I have like chubby cheeks. So when my face swelled up, I'm like, man, it fucked me up. It took me a minute to let it flow because I'm like, oh my God. Because it's like, okay, I work in a public place for 1. 2, I go to a public college. 3, I wouldn't say I'm a public figure because you guys hear me, y'all don't see me. If I was a public figure, it would have fucked me up even more because it's like, I'm looking at a camera and people are going to be watching me. And they're going to be like, oh my God, something wrong with you. Or something's going on. I didn't want that. And also, when I did take pictures of myself, it scared the hell out of me. Because I'm like, I don't even know who I am. And when the situation had happened, like when the breakout happened, and, I felt like I looked like Martin when he got beat up in the boxing ring. Because my face was so, my face was so, ooh, my lips were so big, looked like a big, it stung my lips. Like, I had, them daggone lumps and stuff Martin had on his face. They were on my body. Them rashes was like, whew. So, y'all, if one thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing with y'all. I'm gonna let y'all know what's going on. So that's why I dedicate this wellness day 101 on letting it go. Cause I know, we had some issues that happened this month that it almost had us to the point where oh, this motherfucker almost got me. But I'm glad I saved myself. I was like, oh, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to let it flow because I ain't got time. And it's not going to happen again because I'm going to speak my piece. And once I say what I say, what's done is done. If you don't respect it, oh well. Because one thing's for certain and 2 things for sure. I have to be an adult. We have to be adults. If some adults out here that want to be childish, let them rock out and be childish. But we not finna be childish. We finna get this money, get them degrees, get them diplomas, get them certifications, whatever the case may be. Because we got shit to do. So put them big boy, big girl boots on and march to where you gotta go. Because you right now on a level, baby, that you not worried about a goddamn thing. Or nobody. Because when it comes to your mental, impacting with your well-being, within your wellness, you ain't got time for the bull. You ain't got time for the bull. You don't got time for the bull. Y'all, that's me cracking my freaking fingers. Cracking my freaking knuckles. You're not supposed to do that, but baby, it just feels so good when you just crack them. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this first wellness day 101 with me, because I thought about it while I was in class and I was like, oh my gosh, because certain stuff that had been going on lately and within the past couple days, I'm like, I can't let this get the best of me. I can't. So in order for me to dead the issue, I have to let this go and let it flow. I have to let things flow right here, right now. Speak my piece. And once I say what I say, it's done, it's done. It's there, and I have made it declared. Okay. So, I thank you all for listening to me. I really appreciate it because we have busy lives. And just being able to listen to a person within your speakers, in your car, your AirPods, Beats, whatever the case may be, that is such a beautiful thing. Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all reaching out to me, letting me know what's going on. Like, it really brings me so much happiness. It brings me so much love, and it lets me know that I'm doing something positive and that someone is listening to me. Because like I always say, if I cannot help a group of people, as long as I'm helping someone, and that's all that matters. Okay? So, with that being said, I hope you guys have learned a thing or two, maybe a good 5, 6, 7, 8 things from me when it comes to letting things flow and also remaining calm. And whatever you gotta do to let things flow, do it. And baby, it's no time limit. You are the one in charge when it comes to any and everything in your life, and do not forget that, okay? So with that being said, again, I wish y'all all nothing but the best. I wish y'all nothing but peace and blessings. I hope you guys have a good day, whatever day y'all listen to it. If it's not on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or next Wednesday, whatever the case may be, I wish y'all nothing but peace and blessings. I wish y'all nothing but a very, very safe trip. Please be careful out here. As you guys have seen, within my city, the bridge had collapsed, and that was one of the most very crazy and most saddest things ever. So please let your loved ones and family members, please let your loved ones and friends know that you're there for them. You know, text them, be like, I'm just checking on you. I love you, whatever the case may be. Just let them know that you care and you're checking up on them. Please, please, please be safe out here once again. And as always, you guys will hear from me next time. Bye.